Alright.
Pillars of Eternity 2. What a game. Buy it and enjoy. That's it, bye. Ah crap, now I gotta explain why as well, you bloody bastards. After sinking more than 300 hours into the game, testing every patch and doing stupid amount of builds, I believe it is time to finally make a review. Game version being reviewed is 1.2, which is latest at the time of this review. Previous versions had huge balancing and pacing issues where early game on higher difficulties, especially Path of the Damned, was really damn hard, but it became easier and easier over time to the point you could kill lots of enemies with a single character. Keep watching to see if it is still an issue. Let's start off by saying that the story continues immediately after the first game. Now we have God Eotas rampaging and stomping people in Deadfire. Why? Well, that's up to you to find out. Maybe he's got diarrhea, so he's in a rush. Who knows? You can import your save game from the first game or pick one of the endings and continue like that. Immediately you can see the impact of these choices. Choose everything bad and say goodbye to every character you've met in the first game. Also, gods will be pretty pissed at you. In my opinion, story is awesome, having one god versus many situation. Gods are not the only ones confused with the situation. People are as well. Should they continue worshipping a god that is stomping their little heads or lose faith and change deity? Writing, as we come to expect from Obsidian, is second to none. It especially shines in side quests. One of many things that made me laugh is Archimir's Manor quest. While trying to find a way into the manor, I've stumbled upon a curious fortune teller that turns out to be a dead person reanimated into a fortune-telling machine. How he died? Well, he was the last person trying to break into the manor and Archimir wasn't too thrilled about it. While conversing with the unfortunate bastard, I chose cruel option to mock him. Not only he went berserk, but in his rage he told me about the secret entrance and started tossing coins out of the machine trying to injure me. So I got a headache, couple of coins and the necessary piece of information in the end. Ways to handle a conversation or a quest are many. Multiple solutions to one problem is a staple of any good classical RPG, and Pillars of Eternity 2 delivers with flying colors. Next to amazing writing, multiple solutions and endings, your actions will be noticed by companions. Every companion has preferred way of doing things, and if your actions are opposite of what they like, they will eventually leave. Companions have great voiceovers, mostly, and their own story. Half of them anyway, others are just characters you encounter without special questline. Companions come with predefined attributes that cannot be changed, and sometimes that can be difficult to build around, especially for hard difficulties. Most of the time I found myself leaving shoddy because of heals and discarding everyone else. Not saying others are bad, but you're given predefined attributes and 3 class choices that if you make a mistake or don't like the choice afterwards, there is no going back. Companions can also have funny conversations between them that brings up the atmosphere while exploring. In general, having predefined companions is better for enjoyment, atmosphere and different take on things, but for highest difficulty you're better off hiring new people from tavern and building them from scratch. Pillars of Eternity 2 brings a lot of new features and changes. Finally we have an open world to explore. This was my biggest problem with games like Baldur's Gate or Pillars of Eternity 1. World never felt connected to me, it felt restrictive in many ways. So this change comes like slapping a fool. World of Deadfire is awesome. Lots of islands, small and big, to explore and find unique pieces of loot guarded by huge variety of monsters like drakes, elementals, vampires. For some moronic reason they are called vampires in this game. Ogres, constructs, you have it all here. Beautifully detailed with unique characteristics that will make you change your tactics more times than once. Next to that, Deadfire offers 4 factions that you can work for. All factions are unique with their own agenda. Often during quests you will have an option that caters to one of the factions while ruining reputation with the other. To explore beautiful world of Deadfire you have been given a ship and a crew. Another good addition to the game. Ship combat has polarizing opinions though. It is done in pen and paper style, which is ballsy move that I absolutely love. Vanilla version of the game had lots of enemy AI issues, but that has been sorted now. You can still just ram enemy ship and board to fight them, but if you decide to test yourself in ship versus ship combat, you'll be surprised how effective pen and paper ship combat is. 4 ships, each good at different things, can be customized further with cannons, sails, hull, and so on. Next to that, there are crew members that level up at their jobs with successful battles. To me, ship combat is a great addition to the game and it makes sense in Deadfire Archipelago. Next big change is addition of multiclassing. Now you can combine any 2 classes into one. There are upsides and downsides of doing so. Every class also has a couple of subclass options. Now add to that lots of unique gear and you get amount of builds that I've never seen before. Out of my 300 hours of playtime, about 250 went to just creating and testing builds. It's mind-blowing fun and in my opinion the best aspect of Pillars of Eternity 2. That also adds to replayability value next to all the ways you can finish quests. Unfortunately, this leads to balancing issues. It is impossible to keep all these builds in check. Game was too easy because of it on previous patches. Now it is hell on Path of the Damned at start. Later it gets easier with all the benefits from fantastic gear and all amazing combinations you can pull off. So game suffers from difficulty pacing issues even with the latest patch, which is far more noticeable on Path of the Damned. I feel like they are increasing the difficulty the wrong way. Some encounters will be insanely tough just because ranged enemies will gun down anyone except the tank in few shots, before you can even react. Especially noticeable during the early game. Their next encounter will destroy enemies without any issues. I don't know if solution exists to fix all these things, but they are doing something at least. I believe community will eventually help out and devs will sort it out to some degree. I like that it is extremely tough sometimes, but I would like it to be a bit more fair, with steadier difficulty without insane spikes, except for bosses. You can take this critique with a pinch of salt though, many players might not even notice it that much. It is just Path of the Damned complaint, nothing more. Extensive party AI customization is a powerful tool to play with. And no, I'm not talking about your dick, neither is your girl. There are bugs that still need to be ironed out in that department, but when it works 100% it is incredibly useful. When you put all these things into perspective, conclusion is that combat is insanely fun. Even extremely unfair encounters serve like a tactical puzzle to be solved. There are many more smaller changes. Like for example, no more resting supplies so you can rest whenever, changing combat speed which is more than welcomed, 5 party members instead of 6, which makes micromanaging slightly easier, addition of power sources and empower ability, no more per rest abilities unless from items, grimoire usage and so on. I'd say most of them, if not all, are welcomed. Let's go! Pillars of Eternity 2 is the best looking classical RPG at the moment. Graphical upgrades are noticeable and game looks awesome. I'm not that savvy regarding graphical mumbo jumbo, so I can't go into more details here. What I do know is that all this comes with a price. Game is poorly optimized. Stuttering when casting spells, framerate drops and still present memory dump issue that will slow the game to crawl after prolonged play. I hope something will be done soon to fix all of this. If it runs this poor on PC, then I'm afraid for console players who will get potato mode Pillars of Eternity 2 just to hit 30 frames per second. Soundtrack is top notch. I can't recall a single tune that got on me nerves. Everything sounds so good, from pirate tunes to sound effects. Absolutely amazing audio work. I have to also commend devs for putting blessings into the game. For every achievement, you get blessing points that can be used on another playthrough for additional benefits, like full world map reveal, unique vendors, better starting gear, and so on. Finally, someone has turned the most useless thing in modern gaming called achievements and done something practical with it. Now for the final verdict. Pillars of Eternity 2 is a masterpiece, and every RPG lover should get it. All these new small and big changes make this game better experience than Pillars of Eternity 1, which was already a fantastic classical RPG. My score for Pillars of Eternity 2 is 9 out of 10 with potential to be 10 out of 10. To reach that 10 out of 10, game needs to do better optimization, finally fix that goddamn memory dump issue, do a bit more balancing and squash some more bugs. I recommend this game for everyone, even people who do not play RPGs. Who knows, maybe you'll start liking the whole RPG genre, which will open new horizons for you to explore. Thank you all for watching, I hope you bastards enjoyed the review, and I'm gonna see you soon.